Hey, I'm John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Visual Sound V3 H2O Chorus and Echo pedal. This is two pedals in one. Now there are a lot of two pedal in one combinations out there, but this is unique because these two pedals, the Echo and the Chorus, act completely independently of each other, because you have not only two switches, but you have separate delays for running out. So here's your options. You could, as we're doing right now, plug into the input, one instrument in, and then run output one. Or you could run into the input, output one and output two, giving you true stereo of your analog chorus and your Echo. Or you could, this is another option, run a line into your chorus, into your Echo, and then out into a different amp, and then run two separate outputs into two different amps, giving you chorus going in and out of two amps for true stereo there, and your Echo in a different amp. Huge tonal combinations there that you could run, and it's pretty cool that these pedals really are two in one box. Sounds a little complicated, but it'll be easy once you mess around with it a bit. Now, before I tell you more about this pedal, let me tell you about everything else in the chain. I'm playing my all stock 72 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, and I'm running a Fishman cable out of this into the H2O. The H2O is being powered by a Voodoo Labs pedal power, running out of the output one into a Fender Machete amp in the clean channel right now, which is basically flat. When we get into the dirty channel, that's flat as well, just with a little more gain to it. And I'm micing it with a Royer R121 mic, going into an AppSheet Quartet, then into Pro Tools. Whew, sounds more complicated than it is, but basically I'm plugging a Les Paul into the pedal and micing the amp. There we go. Now, when we came in, I was running both the effects on, but let me show you what it sounds like with both out. You see I've got a little bit of reverb on the amp, but that's it. That's our unaffected tone. So this is a very interesting pedal. It gives you chorusing, vibrato, and delay with dual foot switches, a detune switch, true bypass switching. And what's really interesting about this is they have what they call their forever foot switch, what they said is rated for 10 million hits. And it's popless. So let me show you. This thing, it's very cool. When you hit these, nothing. Hear that? Neither do I. Let me do it again. So it's weird when you engage them. Normally when you hit a switch, it has a little resistance. There's no resistance at all here. So apparently these will never wear out, which is pretty awesome. True bypass is going to give you a clean signal. I think the best way to approach this is, why don't I just talk about one effect at a time. So let's start by talking about the hybrid Echo part of the pedal. When we came in, I had it pretty wet. The level, as you might guess, affects how much of the effect you're going to hear. So there it is all the way up. Repeats is how many repeats. Delay is the time of the delay. There's a secondary switch right here, which is long and short. So say you've got it right now on a long delay, hit that, and suddenly you're pretty short. Now, like that is a very cool kind of, put it on the short bit, and it's a cool kind of rockabilly, slap act. Pretty great, man. It's like that whole kind of I don't know, that old time kind of getting away from you sort of echo. Anyway, very cool. Now, it doesn't have tap tempo on this, which some people may think is a deal breaker, but I don't know, particularly in that slapbacky, big, fat sound like that, the tap tempo is kind of a moot point. Now, let's hear it on kind of the more long, spacey bits. Turn it all up there, gives a bunch of repeats. But it's a very warm, musical sounding echo to me. Now, that's basically everything on the delay side. And as I said, you could run that out, you could run into that input and then run out into a separate amp altogether. So you can have your echo separated from your chorusing, or have them run together. That's the basics of the echo. Let's talk about the chorusing, which is a bit more complex. Okay, start with the on-off switch. It's a very warm analog chorus. And to me, kind of a Leslie sort of sound. Your controls here are depth, width, speed, and then down here you have a tone switch, and then a switch between vibrato and chorusing. I have it on chorus right now. And here's where it gets a little more weird. There is a detune switch, on off, and then the intensity. So right now, here's where we are. Now, as I said, to me, it's almost like a little bit like a Leslie, almost like that kind of Doppler-y kind of effect you get with a Leslie. And it sounds great, clean. But like rockers like Zakk Wylde and guys like that will use chorusing on their dirty channel, and it really fattens things up. Very cool effect. Now let's look at some of the more weird sounds you can get out of this. If you engage the detune, things get a little crazy. That's subtly tuned, but let's make it more intense. That's like underwater seasick stuff. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a cool, weird sound. There might be a place for it somewhere in your arsenal. So that's for the radical sounds. And you can make it a little more subtle on the detuning. Turn up our speed and intensity a little bit. And there's nothing subtle about that. It gets pretty out of hand. So that's the detune part, and that's with it really wild. But I kind of prefer that more subtle setting. That's everything straight up. And that analog, as you hit it a little bit harder with more intensity, you can kind of feel that warm fuzziness roll into it, which I think is very cool. The vibrato setting, let's hit it over that way. Kind of see what that does. Now, it's not like a tremolo. You're going to hear, actual more kind of variation in the pitch than you would on a tremolo. But it's a cool sound. If you turn your speed way down, let's put the width and depth up a bit with the speed way down. How crazy is that, right? Anyway, very cool. I also like the fact that you can turn the tone up and down, the tone of the chorus. And that's kind of a cool effect. Let's bring it way up. Have this kind of in the middle with the tone way up. That's on the vibrato. Here's on the chorusing. Bring it way down, tone way down. I like that darker sound better. It's very cool. Now let's show what they do together. That's a really cool effect, particularly for rhythms and vibey things like that. But it also works really well in lead sort of settings. Now, because I'm not running this through an effects loop, but running it just in front of the amp, as I go to the dirty channel, the effects are going to seem a lot more intense. So. So that is it. That is the V3 H2O Chorus Echo pedal by Visual Sound. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. And while you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll keep you up to date on all the cool new gear that's out there.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.